We are doing a self-care challenge, what I'm calling soul food. And one of the big topics that came up was guilt. Guilt around self-care, guilt around taking time for you. And I feel like this is very common amongst women in general, moms, healers. You have the biggest heart and you just want to help people. And there's a lot of different ways that we can go about this. And I want to share with you a very different perspective and a different way of thinking today. So, we know as healers, like we're very introspective, right? Where most of the time we know where it's coming from. And that is also very useful to have someone in your corner to be able to see your blind spots and to see something that you may be missing. But what I want to share with you is from the human perspective and from a subconscious perspective today, which I know is very different than most of the time what we're going to hear in the spiritual world. So before I dive into that, I will say that guilt, shame, fear, resentment, anger all reside inside of our root chakra. This is the prime place for you to dive into whenever it is that you want to clear these. So if you are feeling a lot of like guilt, shame, fear, resentment, anger, the root chakra is a really great place to begin. You can do root chakra meditations, you can do root chakra clearing, root chakra crystals, binaural beats for root chakra. Any one of those things is super useful. But let's go ahead and dive into a different perspective as it pertains to the subconscious mind. First things first is I want you to check in for the guilt. I want you to see if it's present for you right now. And if it is, I just want you to feel that guilt for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And we're done with that. Go ahead and take in a deep breath and exhale. Think of the word release. We're not going to drop into meditation. I just want you to lean back and listen to me. And again, very different than what we are typically used to in the spiritual world, right? It's like, well, what is there for me to do? What aligned action can I take? What journaling prompt can I have? What meditation can I do? And I did give you suggestions around the root chakra, absolutely useful. And I talk about this time and time again. If you want to increase your spiritual abilities, the first chakra I'm not going to recommend to you is the third eye or the crown chakra. I know, gasp, what? What is actually going to increase your spiritual abilities and create more clarity, capacity to receive, and all of the amazing things that make this human experience so cool is going down to go up. Clearing the lower frequencies, not bad, but clearing the lower frequencies so you can vibrate higher. The more shit that you clear out, the higher you're going to vibrate, the better you're going to feel. And it's just, everything's just inevitable. Everything is going to start clicking. Your abilities are going to be activated. Your soul codes are going to be apparent. Like it's just a full circle moment. So let's talk about guilt. I also want to cover regret too, because I feel like sometimes these are simultaneous. So what is guilt? Let's talk about the specifics. Guilt is a dysfunction response caused by how the mind processes information. Now, we are going to think like scientists today. Okay? So, guilt is experienced as a combination of emotion and of thought designed to cause an action about an event that is believed to have hurt someone else. Now, this doesn't have to necessarily mean like physically hurt them. This could be like hurt their feelings or, whatever. So when a person can remedy their behavior after the fact, the guilt is not deemed dysfunctional and will be eliminated by the action that takes place. However, prolonged guilt, so a guilt that's taken over time, is something that cannot be remedied. And there is no benefit. So we only experience guilt when we care about other people. Not a surprise, right? You have the biggest heart and you just want to help people heal. So the guilt that you may be feeling or have experienced is your mind trying to get you to change something that had happened that is not able to be changed. And it means that you care. So let's talk about regret. This is caused by the way mind is processing information that's designed to cause an action about having done something that you believe hurt yourself. So just the same with guilt, if the person or yourself can alter what you're doing, then regret served its purpose and disappears. So both guilt and regret are energy that's designed to cause things to have been different. So it's energy used to change history. We can eliminate the guilt and regret by recognizing that nothing that has happened could not have happened. Make sense? Okay. So again, we're thinking like scientists. This is a very different way of thinking. Okay. Let's talk about also moralistic thinking. Only humans can experience thoughts around fear, rejection, abandonment, being judged by self and others, worthiness, guilt, shame, pride, blame, like all of these like lower frequency emotions, right? They comes from stuff that was planted earlier on. So, for example, little Billy sleeps through the night and mommy says, "Good boy." And then later, 3-year-old Billy pees on his sister's head and it's bad boy. It was all designed for parents to control Billy's behavior so that he could go to school and pay attention and also keep his pants on. So little Billy and mommy are walking through the mall to buy some shoes and he sees a candy store and he shouts, "Mommy, candy." And mommy says, "No, Billy, candy is bad for you. Let's go." Billy is having none of that. Now, if you've been around a 3-year-old, you know they want what they want and they're going to let you know if they're not getting it. So as you can imagine, Billy is just having none of that. And he's just now screaming in fits. "I want candy." People are now beginning to stare and mommy goes, "Come on, honey, we have candy at home." And now he's throwing a fit, stomping his feet, screaming, crying, throwing himself on the floor. And so mommy now says, "Bye-bye, Billy. Mommy's going home." And then she ducks behind one of those photo booths. Now Billy is so scared. Mommy? Mommy? He learned that if he was bad, he could die. We were taught that if you are good, you will have good things happen and you will be happy. If you're bad, we will make you feel bad so that you'll do better. So later, Billy goes to school where he's compared to others and rated on his goodness. Baby human learned about good, bad, credit, blame, pride, shame. And as children, everything was taught to us scientifically. By the time you were 5, you knew that water boiled at a specific temperature, and it wasn't a bunch of fairies kicking it around. The only thing that wasn't taught to us scientifically was human behavior. We were taught that moralistically. Viewing behavior in that way is what causes the resentment, the guilt, the shame, which are energy draining emotions, as you know. However, if we look at human behavior scientifically, we know that something caused someone to do something. So, for example, a hurricane is caused by certain changes in the environment, and no one has ever said that is a super naughty hurricane. No doctor evaluating a broken ankle has said, "Wow, that bone is misbehaving." But human behavior is viewed differently. So there's a news bulletin that someone out in Nevada started a fire on someone's house, and another guy went into the house to save anyone that was in that burning house. And he's so much better than the other one, and we should be viewing him with accolades and praise and viewing the other one with contempt. Scientifically, something caused that guy to start the fire and the other guy to run into the burning building, caused by genetics or environment. But the guy who saved someone doesn't deserve credit for his accomplishments because he couldn't have done it any other way. I want to ask you a question. I want you to answer this out loud. I can energetically feel you even though I can't hear you, okay? The guilt that you've been feeling, is it serving the person that you're feeling guilty about? Does that person benefit from the guilt? Of course not. There's a firefighter who made a mistake on the job. She didn't do something that she was trained to do, and a few people lost their lives. How much do you want her to suffer? None. There's a soldier that went to war and had to make some very tough decisions while he was deployed. How much do you want him to suffer? None. Now, when it comes to the guilt that you had been experiencing, who was you? But it's not you right now, not the you that you're listening to me at this very moment, because cell for cell, you are different. Do you want to torture that version of you that is no longer you? Do you want to torture her or him? No. And again, does the person that you had been feeling guilt around benefit them at all? No. You're correct. I want you to repeat after me. I am not guilty in this moment. I am not guilty at this moment. I am not guilty right now. I am not guilty now. Now, I am not guilty. Now, I am not guilty. Let's do that one more time. Take in a deep breath. Exhale, thinking the word release. I am not guilty at this moment. I am not guilty at this moment. I am not guilty at the moment. I am not guilty right now. I am not guilty now. Now, I am not guilty. Now, I am not guilty. Taking a deep breath. Exhale, think of the word release. And check for the sensation. Come into the DMs. Let me know what shifted, what aha moments you had. I know something shifted for you. And if you are doing the challenge with us for the free self-care challenge, come into our community in our broadcast channel. Come hang out with us with fellow healers. I'm so excited to connect deeper with you. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.